Alright, 10 o'clock. I was looking at a short in XNet, so XNet, tech sector, volume in play, what's the trend? Kind of had this uptrend, but now we're just kind of going sideways here, in the shadow of this bar here, but my what set up was that these 4 days kind of compressed, so I've got a higher low, lower high, higher low, lower highs, and kind of like looks like a wedge with some compression. So thinking maybe we can break out, and once it's picked a direction, it can move with some force. So that was my setup. The trigger is kind of had this this was kind of a level from the prior day, and then definitely yesterday's low was like 1, 2, 3 touch, kind of in this area level. So couple that with a intraday level, so we wanted to see it break through cleanly on volume, which it did, and then look for some kind of continuation entry below. So we had this bear flag right here, but it was so I guess anyway. So bear flag, that would have been a nice entry. So setup. Sorry, I was doing this on the other screen. So anyway, so XNet, tech sector, had a big run up, and then is the uptrend still intact? Well, this is pretty change of charactery. Then we get a higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, sideways action. So looking for the break. The trigger is breaking the low of this day, and then this overlap is also part of the setup. And then I guess you would call this like a trend continuation trade, but it's breaking out of this range. So this would be a support failing, but then looking for continuation for like this down move. And so getting past the prior day's low and holding beneath it. I was just kind of looking to short one of these pops, but there are no shorts to borrow. So anyway, so sometimes that's gonna happen. Well, other noticeable stocks, Mark. I had this as an alert, but just wanted to bring it to your attention. So just kind of mark above this prior day's high. It's like 975. You call it 75 level. You can't see on this day, but there's definitely above average volume. This is a doji day. The big picture trend is definitely strong uptrend coming off long-term base, thrust up, pull back, and then it's kind of going sideways here, and now we're just hovering underneath basically what is the all-time high, with a big volume doji day. So if we break out here, looking for a trend continuation trade. Trigger would be just breaking through this level and holding above it for 15 minutes. Now that we kind of have a lower open, so or more or less flat open. Also, this prior day's high. If you wanted to try to time this early, if we kind of like went up to it and just kind of lack of price rejection against this, another trend continuation. So, sorry, where's out of my notes like the trend continuation. Basically, there are only like a few like trend continuation entries or triggers rather. It would just kind of be that hover along the level. Also, there's break through the level and consolidate above, or like a strong opening drive and buy the first pullback. For like trend continuation trades. Obviously, these are better after 10 o'clock. And if we get lower or flat opens for buys. It's Roku, Naked Gap Keltner. So Roku, hot sector, strong uptrend, but we're getting a little overextended now. Kind of gone up, 50% in the past, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars. So then we get, Naked Gap Keltner. This bar is kind of closing down off the high, but Naked Gap to all-time highs, and then change of character right off the open. So maybe you could be shorting this pop to VWAP, or maybe there was some pre-market style here. But if I look on the other chart, there's definitely a big kind of pre-market zone, but you can't see that on here. Anyhow, haven't gone through the high beta list yet. Oh yeah, sorry. Beta setup in beta was that we on the yearly chart, or excuse me, a 3-month daily, we're swinging around, so this is like a volatile stock. This really has no discernible trend. I mean, there's a huge move down. It's not in a declared downtrend, but kind of going sideways. Just these like 1 to 13 days, 9 bars, and just had a pretty obvious level right here at this like 31.20, and so now we've kind of broken this level pretty strongly. Check the volume. So volume supports. What's the relative volume look like? Relative volume's okay. That's actually kind of weak. But just the idea was that we're going kind of have like a little mini base. I know it's not a long sideways, but it's definitely a sideways period. But this isn't the best trade because it's not with a longer term trend, and but it's in a hot sector, and the setup is that we've been going sideways for this these like 9 days, and then we're breaking above kind of an obvious level that was put in right here. Price couldn't get above, and now it's breaking above it, so could be looking for a trend continuation trade here, or rather this would be a resistance failing trade. And now you'd be looking for some kind of like trend entry though, because we do think this is going to be a trend day. Wide range ATR and beta is about $3. Gotta look on this day, it's about $3. Another wide range day about 3.5. So here we've done $1.25, so we're not really overdone. So you're gonna just give it that cursory like 15 minutes, just like or that 15 minutes, just like let it go sideways, and it's a good habit like you're talking in the video of like letting it do that. Okay, Mark is breaking above the prior day's high now, so just as before, we say that the setup is strong thrust going sideways, coming off a long-term base, strongly breaking through the level is the trigger on volume. So if we keep going through here and then hold above for at least like 15 minutes, I'll look for a place to manage my risk for an entry. I like that we open pretty much flat, kind of went sideways off the open. It's after 10 o'clock. We're above the prior day's high. So full cove H, and kind of had an obvious level to work with from the prior day. So now this is a trend continuation trade, and just looking for trend continuation entries. I was gonna wait for this to give me a place to control my risk if we spend some time here above this level. Another area of interest is obviously this prior, 1034 would be just the only other place of resistance that we might consider. So I guess that's perhaps a line I should have had dropped beforehand. To talk about the self-sabotaging, it's crazy just how you like know me and like you just understand what my mindset is and like how I think, and I've already justified the fact that I'm going on this trip, and I'm like going on this trip, and I'm like, well, okay, I made this commitment to go play poker tomorrow night with my one good friend who's back in town. I haven't seen in a couple years, and he's gonna be there, and I agreed to go. And this is obviously before I watched your video for today. And so I agreed to go sometime last week, and I was like, and it's just like this is self sabotage. Like, why am I getting in my own way when it's time to um, work and improve, and when I start to show improvement, why am I fucking myself up? And that's, you know, the answer is not important. The answer is just to fucking not do it. I guess I still plan on going. I guess the wise thing to talk about it would to not do it, right? So wide range ATR mark is about 230 to $2. So we're already up like $1.50, right off the open. So we don't want to see rejection from this all-time high, but maybe like a second rat gets the cheese kind of entry. We touch it, kind of have a nice little controlled pullback. I would look to enter there. Definitely don't want to see this like slam down, reject hard, but a nice controlled pullback here. Would enter. Anyway, yeah. I feel, and I think this is like, they say when you talk about trading as a mirror to your soul, and like, it's like this behavior is like why I look at, I don't take my time looking at setups and or like stating everything, and I was like, oh, it's okay this time to not take this trade, and it's a really slippery slope to walk down, and so. But I'm gonna let this make kind of like put in a little higher low. That way I can manage my risk a little bit better. You're talking about the higher low and VWAP. So VWAP's currently at 80 cents. So that's where I'll put my stop. But I want it to kind of put in a little sideways higher low. Maybe this 2-bar pullback is all we get. But if that's the case, we talk about our best trades. Give us a chance to get in like most of the time. So relative volume is pretty good on Mark. This is really solid supporting volume. You can't see it here because I don't have it. But this is really solid supporting volume. But this is not really a great area to enter nor control my risk right now. So. I do something where I trail down these bars highs. Which I'll give it some more time. But it's kind of looking bull flaggy. So right now this is the usual time I'd be feeling FOMO when I want to enter, but just by talking through through the step process. Okay, so coming off a long-term base, we had a strong blast on volume, and now we're going sideways. Another thing to add to the setup is we had a doji day at an obvious level that we're breaking. The trigger is breaking through this level and holding above for a period of time. The type of entry I want would be this is a trend continuation trade, so looking for trend continuation entries, i.e. resistance becomes support, or a bull flag, or long consolidation entry, a la Twitter yesterday. That was really cool that you pointed that out. And also, holy shit, Elfin and Riot and stuff like Elfin. Just like we talked about, or you brought up on Friday, just like the pre-market volume. Pre-market volume, you could have, had an alert set at the high of the pre-market, even though it gapped up off the open, and then kind of just the same thought process, same principle as Riot for the end of the day, or the later in the day trade. Just like if we get naked gap up, that just means pause, and then our gap up go up, and then just let it consolidate, to give us a chance later. So, I'm just gonna. This right here definitely made me feel, some type of way. But if this is one good trade, then you should just keep going sideways above this level and give me a chance to get in. If not, then waiting saves me from like a rejection. If this is just like somebody setting up for shorts or something. But all the trend indicators are there. We're at 52-week highs. The only deal is we're kind of getting near that wide range ATR already. So we definitely wanted to, just because how quickly it went from here to here, we definitely wanted to spend some time above the level. I mean, you would actually like my girlfriend because she's like giving me a hard time about it too, and like saying like, what do I want for my life, and like, so we're gonna close them off lows here. Might think about a prior resistance becomes support entry, 41 down to 90, so risk 50 cents. So once again, go through the step process. Coming off long-term base, blast on volume, sideways consolidation, obvious level breakout, trigger continuation trade. Trigger is trading through the level on volume, which we did, and holding above the level. Now I'm looking for a trend entry. And then problem areas are maybe we've gone the wide range ATR already. Definitely is a Cove H and a lower open and did not gap up. And is there meat left on the bone is kind of the only question here. But this is about to trade at all-time highs, so you never know what's going to go on. But look at that, just as I talked my way through it, I may have saved myself out of a good trade. So now, like, we failed at the new all-time high, so there's no demand. We just need to spend more time. maybe kind of second rank gets the cheese. Now I'm kind of talking myself into this because so we've tested the all-time high and are now trading, trading below it. Anyway, the only reason I decided to place this trade is because the volume is relatively high intraday, and also the volume super in play. So maybe my initial instinct was right that this is a rejection off the all-time high, but I'm thinking all the other daily chart things align, and the fact that we are just kind of hovering right under blue skies. And that maybe once we hit this prior level, maybe some initial profit takers who had maybe gone long, or people who had gone long here, maybe selling back. The fact that this was kind of a quick move, usually fails right off the. Talk about the zoom to a level, usually fails first time anyway. So this is I don't feel like I got my trigger. Really what I wanted of just like, we're definitely holding above the priorities high, and this like obvious level here, that $10 level, but I think maybe that's the more important level here. Definitely expected some resistance at the prior all-time high, so we'll see what ends up transpiring. The only negative to this was, too far too fast, and maybe no meat left on the bone. Since there are no shorts available next to it. Anyway, going back to the philosophical side of self-mastery, if what I'm saying is like that, I don't, it's okay sometimes to not show up for work. Like, what kind of fucking mentality is that? And nobody's gonna have sympathy for me, Cree just came off of, or excuse me, BRX just came off a wide range day. So odds of continuing the next day are pretty slim. We kind of a level to play off of. So I think Mark is the one for today, though. The volume seems right, and just there you go. It's just like more sideways, more sideways, more sideways above this level. That's the real level, So now we go 1, 2. That's what I said. It's just like not waiting, like not not waiting. I get a better price. I'm risking a lot less, and anyway. I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, So like, you know, the idea is we broke out to the all-time high, but are we rejecting away from the level? Maybe that answer is no. You know, we're kind of just consolidating. I don't like that we're consolidating under the prior all-time high, but anyway, if I, you know, just follow my fucking rules and like the trigger that I said I wanted, that I planned for in my trend continuation trades, just wait. You know, but as we said, all the best trades give you a chance to get in. Very few that just run on without you, right? Eat my post-workout meal. Just wait. You know, that's all you gotta do. Just wait. Trading is waiting. Yet again, this makes me feel emotional. Just what you were talking about, Twitter on Friday, or not Friday, but last week Twitter. Hell, maybe, no, it wasn't Friday. Which day was it? This day. Thursday Twitter. So, same shit. This makes me feel emotional, and then I want to enter. So, here we come into Mark. This makes me feel emotional, and I want to enter. Whereas, if I just wait, go sideways, I get a much better price, I get a much better fill. You know, holding above the long to just like much more high probability. It's holding above that level longer, you know, and like it's chasing. Fuck. And the following the step got me a little farther this time, but it has to be objective, like you talk about objective, like moving the stop further away of the swing lower or VWAP, higher lower VWAP, and it's like, well, it better be fucking 15 minutes or I'm wrong, you know. So holding above the level 15 minutes, and that's it. And if I enter before 15 minutes, then that's not one good trade in my book. Should have been no go though, probably. This is 170. We've gone. Wider GTR is like $2, so. I got filled at 43 cents. Horrible spot to enter. Anywhere in here. You know, anywhere in here. Fine. And then again, you know. I'm gonna keep saying too far too fast until this shit does like another 2 wide range ATR or I get stopped out, so. So with setup and square, we had a strong uptrend, but a change of character on the daily, going sideways. Squares in the tech sector, which is a hot sector. The setup is just that we had a pop in the downtrending action. No real obvious level to play from, just kind of like hovering above the prior day's low. We had a, open higher, so we're hovering right at the Cobell levels. Just that we're trying to get, it's more of a swing setup, but I'm going to short this pop too. So 32. So maybe Mark is trying to make me make up for other shit. I don't know. So what kind of trade is this? It would be a trend continuation trade. So just the idea that we blast down sideways, kind of went down some more, so popped up a little bit, and so now that we've had a pop up, change character intraday, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So I guess another trigger to add would be intraday downtrend. And or uptrend. My stop's definitely wrong too. Up here, I got way too big. Shit. So I'm gonna fix that and just cover 100 right now, and fix my size even at a small loss. I'm gonna change this. Okay. Anyway. So trading's emotional. I'm all over the place today. Definitely feeling a different mindset than yesterday, and I think it's because I know I'm like putting myself in a bad position by going on this vacation and going tomorrow, and like, so maybe subconsciously I don't want to demonstrate proficiency before I go. I don't fucking know, dude. What's the trigger here that tells me now's the time? Like, I don't know. It's fucking intraday downtrend. Like, maybe that's it. But this is definitely not something I thought about, the night before. I only was really considering square below this level. Obviously, this is the one, multi-touch level. We're just kind of hovering there, so. Mark's really not getting any volume on this retest. So. Gonna leave it. Made my bed, now I'm gonna lie in it today. Really just kind of judging the fact that we, tested this prior all-time high. I mean, it's good that we're trading above it now, but we not really getting a lot of volume. Well, here comes some volume. Most likely, if I'm fucking around with bad stocks, that means that there are good stocks out there to be traded today. So that's usually what that means. You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what? So we had this little baby setup in Tesla, but obviously Tesla's like so over my sweet spot for price. Just like had this compression on the daily chart, just 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So just so pick a direction. So maybe where we go. Like I said, I got the sense here that these bars are kind of closing. I know it's not good to focus on the 1-minute chart. I got the sense that the volume on this move up wasn't really great. Kind of closing down off the highs here, but we'll see. This is probably people buying this up. Like you said, sacrificing a few soldiers to sell out. I mean, people who were, and you kind of already had this like failure, at this prior level before. But the definite indicator here was that it was too far too fast. No meat left on the bone and too far too fast. It went up the wider in JTR, and 10 minutes. Ideally, what I would have liked to see was, so I was already convinced, like once I saw the way this was opening, that it was gonna, that I should be going long this. But if it kind of stopped right here and just kind of like paused and went sideways, like would have liked that a lot more. But the fact that we kind of already did that extra buck made it very different. So this is a situation where maybe I shouldn't fuck with it, I get the feeling, for all the reasons I said before, maybe I should just take a smaller loss than I was doing earlier. You know, or then instead of getting fully stopped out. Because the idea is that we should break out and hold above this level, and we're definitely immediately back below the prior all-time high, and then couple that with everything I said about why JGR too far too fast. But you know, I'm gonna sit here and hold on to the shit because like that's what I do. Fear of missing out is too great. It just makes sense to get out. Just gonna leave my fucking stop. Bad habit to fuck with it and try to make it do too much. SQ, so it's kind of compressing. Let's see if this turns out to be a good trade. I mean, you can't short every pop, and just because it's a pop doesn't mean that it's. I'm all over the fucking place mentally right now, dude. I'm not in a good spot. So, any apologies for this video ahead of time. Like yesterday, I was like so fucking confident and just like everything I was seeing, and like now, it's very fucking emotional today. I'm on my traders period or something. I don't fucking know, dude. So volume is all but dried up in Mark here. So yeah, here I'm in a much better position of mental strength. Check the master list volume buzz. Here. Great. So I've already got 2 trades that I placed today, right? And here I am searching for something else because mine aren't working so much. So yeah, another emotional clue of just like, you know, this is like tilty, right? It feels like I'm going on tilt because I wanna do something. I wanna get that win, you know. I've already got fucking 2 trades on. What am I doing? even a dollar. These couple of days go for about $3, so that was my thought. Like I've traded, traded Square a lot lately. I guess I should still state the fucking wider JTR though, just to be in a good habit. Over here. So I guess if you take this fucking line out, which was just the prior all-time high, higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low. So maybe I'm just making shit up. Maybe I'm just blind. See, look, fucking just boom from here at the time where I was so crazy that I thought I was gonna miss the price. How much time goes by? Spending time above the level. 30 fucking minutes above the level. I get the same price. Like, come on, bro. What's the deal? And I probably get, in either here or get a better fill, but like definitely here, fuck. Really frustrating. And I know that trigger, like I know that's my trigger, like 15 minutes at least. Boom, just one. Okay, above the level. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's 15? There's 15. So at least by there, I should have, that's the earliest I could have ever entered is this bar. That would have been the 16th minute. So, just wait, fucking 15 minutes above the level. And if I say, okay, now I gotta look for a spot to control my risk, at least this is more sideways. Like, what the fuck is this? This is more sideways. Just afraid of missing the move. This is what this is. Afraid of missing the move, chasing, and not waiting. You talked about like Twitter yesterday, just like the dead times are the times to enter. Counterintuitive, as you said. So this hour's going by pretty quickly. Obviously seeing a lot of, roller coaster emotions on my end. But yet again, what are my problem areas? And it's the P that I'm not going through, so E and P, like, still not fucking doing it and taking my time and saying, that this, this right here should be a trigger. Not a trigger in the sense of setup trigger entry, but like something that makes me emotional. I know this is a problem area. Okay, I fucking have done it a million times where this blasts up like so quickly, and then I feel compelled to trade it. Problem area. So we'll see if been in a position of mental weakness most of the day, but at least what I've done is align the higher time frame in my favor. So maybe my trades will work out kind of later in the day. I've got my stop set, both of them, and we'll see if something comes of it. But just like you gotta fucking not be emotional and follow the plan and just like the square's finally cracking. Just like follow my plan. So like entering in here is fine. Entering in here is all the same shit. If they want to see square break below this 37, I don't like that it. And maybe give it some more time though. Anyway, just focusing on the problem areas and like you said, just like taking the fucking time to just like say what the setup, what my trigger, entry, and problem areas are. It's gonna save me for doing dumb shit, and it's gonna help me get into better prices and put me in a better position of mental strength, and just follow a plan. Alright, man, I'm just gonna leave it right here. Cut it off a minute or so short.